the title card. Howdy, folks. I'm a big blind bullfrog belching behind berry bushes branded Brian. Boing.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Reddit. Amber's over here looking completely boggled. I don't know why.
Let me know in the comments if you are just as baffled by Brian as I am.
Another B word, baffled. Ooh. Our first story is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my boyfriend to take back the car he surprised me with? Using my new throwaway account just in case. Only I, a 26-year-old female, and my boyfriend, a 33-year-old male, surprised me with a brand new car about a month ago. That said okay. I don't know why I said only. I was super happy and very appreciative. My old car was working fine, but it was a bit outdated, but I never complained about it. Me and my boyfriend really never argue about these things, but last few days it's been bad. I assumed it's because he's stressed at work, so he comes home and drinks, and that makes him not physical, but just very loud and obnoxious. Everything he says, it's always, I bought you a brand new car and you should be worshiping me. He has been saying that a lot. That seems like a bit of a red flag right there. I was trying to sell my old car. I had a couple of people interested and they decided that they didn't want it. My boyfriend was furious. He acted like it was my fault that they didn't want it, and he said whatever money I get from the car, it needs to go to him. So he gave you a gift with strings attached. Just to be clear. Which is logical, but I never asked him to buy me a car. I never complained about my old one. I was tired of the rude comments he would make, so I told him the only reason he bought me a car is so that he can have something to hold over my head, and I told him to sell the new car or return it. He called me an ungrateful bee. I never raised my voice to him, ever, and this whole thing was very frustrating. He hasn't spoken to me all day, so am I the jerk? And then we have an update. Well, first off, I just want to say how much I appreciate every single one of you that you gave me some input on this absurd situation. Well, last night I talked to him. Physically, I'm okay, but mentally, I am not. I told him how much his words hurt me. He got very upset. I've never been one to take any BS from any man, so he started calling me names, belittling me, and his body language acted like he wanted to hit me. I got up, looked him in the eye, and I didn't say a word. I got a few of my things, put it in my old car, and since the new car is in my name, I took off the license plate and left the car. I texted him later and told him to plan on meeting me at the DMV this week to sign it back over. I went to my friend's house after this all went down. He started texting me all kinds of things saying that he knew where I went because he put a tracker on my old car a few years ago. Oh my goodness, OP. This whole situation blindsided me, and I'll be going to the police if this psycho behavior continues from him. Maybe going to the police sooner? Wow. If he's following her with like a phone or like a tracker on the car, and has been doing this for a long time, this was premeditated. Like, he has been planning on doing this for a long time to hold something over their head. I can't believe I was with this dude for almost 5 years and nothing like this happened before. But it did. You just didn't know about it. Like, he's been tracking you. Like, that's a huge invasion of privacy. I'm shocked and heartbroken. We were supposed to be getting married. Well, I mean, I know that this sounds like bad for OP right now, but like, they dodged a huge bullet here because this kind of behavior, would have come out in the wash, so to speak, after the marriage. Like, he would have gotten worse and it would have been that much harder to get away from him because then you would have been married to the guy. And then he would have been able to like hold divorce papers and stuff like that over OP's head. So yeah, not a good situation. I'm glad OP found out about this beforehand. Please continue to keep me in your thoughts. It's going to be hard to heal over this. Again, thank you so much to everyone that's reached out. I appreciate it more than anything I've ever never felt so loved. All right, folks. Well, what do you think of that one? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
Holy cow. Can you believe that? Like, He buys her a car. She thinks this is like a nice situation, a nice gesture. And it turns out that he had this premeditated plan to basically just like start controlling her. Like, this was just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like OP didn't see his behavior. It's hard sometimes when you're in a relationship to see bad behavior, right? I mean, sometimes like we overlook things, or we don't necessarily want to accept that somebody isn't necessarily a good person. And so it can be difficult, when you're in a situation to kind of see all the red flags.
Well, and abusers don't always show all their cards off the bat.
And abusers don't show everything. But like, he was literally tracking OP this entire time. Like, this is controlling behavior at its finest, or worst. And this is just absurd. Like, who knows what other things he was doing here? Because if he had a tracker on their car, then he was most certainly doing other things, like probably going through their phone, probably reading through their messages, probably just in general kind of keeping up behind them, because that's what this sounds like. This sounds like this guy was just planning. It's like a spider ready to like pounce. Spiders don't really pounce, but you get the metaphor. So yeah, no, OP, I don't think you're a jerk, and good luck. Hopefully you can get away from him, clean break, get a restraining order or something like that, because like not good at all. Not the jerk. A gift with conditions is not a gift. Yeah, I mean, how many times have I said that on this channel alone? Not to mention, this car is legally in your name, OP. If not, he bought it for himself, a new car he's holding over your head and allowing you to drive. Do not get rid of your own car. It does sound like that car was in OP's name, though. Not the jerk. And if you do decide to take your parents' advice, don't take the new car. He could have went as far as putting a GPS in it. I know it sounds crazy, but I actually know a few people who have done this to their significant others. Well, commenter. Little did you know at the time that he was tracking them.
Probably in both cars.
In both cars. All right, folks. Our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my husband my money is mine? My husband and I had triplets, all boys, about 2 years after we got married. They had some health issues. Because of this, my husband wanted me to quit my job and take care of our boys and our home, since it was cheaper than paying for specialized childcare. I agreed. Our family lives in a row of small town homes, 6 homes in our building, that were owned by our landlord at the time. I was offered a job cleaning the townhomes when the tenant moved out by the landlord. I asked my husband about it. He said that he didn't care, but he didn't want to interfere with my responsibilities at home. We also agreed that the money would be mine since it's a second job. We did this for 3 years. It grew into where I cleaned other places for my landlord. I just put the money into my savings. My father-in-law died in June 2019. When my husband received a chunk from his mom, I asked my husband about it. He got angry and said that it's his money and any future inheritance would not be part of our family budget. My husband ended up going on several trips with his brothers with the money. I was okay with that, although I was hurt that he got angry when I asked about it. October 2021, my grandpa died. I'm the only grandchild. My parents make good money, so his estate was left to me. I just transferred the money, rented out the farmland around his home. I decided to keep his home since it was close to my parents' home. I live 4 hours away from them. I didn't talk to my husband about it since it was my inheritance. January of this year, the landlord came to me to let me know that he was selling the townhomes that I live in. With costs rising around us, I was worried about it. It would have caused major impact on our family budget. Things worked out where I was able to use my inheritance combined with what I had saved from working to buy the building. My husband came to me and told me that he wants me to deposit part of the rental incomes from the other townhomes into our family account, allowing more spending money for fun. I reminded him of our arrangements. Along with me no longer having a rent payment, we ended up in a fight. He is saying that I'm being a jerk for not sharing the money coming in. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
This is a little... So I do think that, like, if you have separated finances, then there needs to be kind of clear boundaries about what that means exactly. And this situation is a tad bit sticky in the respect that, like, their husband agreed that the money that they take is going to go towards like their own personal bank account, and so it sounds like the expectation that OP had was that they would be able to take any money that they earn and set it aside into their own personal accounts. So I can definitely see that being in OP's eyes as the reasonable thing. And then OP takes the money that they have and they start to earn more incomes and they start to do, grow that money and they start to use that investment to make more money. And so all of this is from both their work that they did and their inheritance and their investments. So it's difficult because that is actually being grown from a pot of money that was not considered part of the family expenses. But I can also understand why the husband would want OP to contribute towards the household in addition. But, it sounds like OP is still doing all the domestic duties. It sounds like OP is still doing all of the work and caring for the triplets who would need specialized care otherwise. And that has to be taken into account here as well. So it sounds like OP and their husband, he kind of got what he asked for in some respects, right? Because he's like, oh, future finances separated.
Yeah, he
plain
could
and
have
simple.
invested his inheritance if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could have invested his inheritance, but he chose not to, and he kind of is now not getting additional money from it. It sounds like OP was very wise with their money. So I would have a hard time blaming OP, but I can also see why the husband would want OP to contribute to the household. But I think that that's something that they need to sit down and, clarify those boundaries. And yeah, I think it's a little bit of a sticky situation. So let me know what you folks think. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Why are you married to this greedy hypocrite? His money is his, and how dare you even ask about it? But your money is for both of you, and how dare you not want to share? Girl, what? He stuck you with caring for 3 babies with health issues and a house? Not the jerk, but wow, this guy has some audacity. Yeah, the level of audacity and greed is practically out of this world. Like, how did you even get married to this guy, OP? Probably should ask for a divorce. Alright, folks, guess what time it is?
Tea time!
It's tea time. So today, I will tell you that I am not drinking the same tea that I was yesterday. And so you are welcome to guess from that what tea I have today. It's also one that I drank recently. As it was foretold in the prophecies, we shall read from our sacred texts. If cheese comes on top of a hamburger, what comes after the cheese? A mouse. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was silly. What do you folks think? Let me know what you think of that joke. As you can see, I have my Wordle board here. Oops, I'm getting my hand cut off. Wordle. Let me know how you folks did on your Wordle board. And yeah, let's get moving on. Howdy, folks. This is Editing Brian here. Turns out, I apparently forgot to tell you what tea I was drinking. I was drinking licorice spice, but Brian of the past got too invested in the joke that he told. Bad Brian. Remember in the future to tell your jokes. That's why my hair looks a little wet, because I showered. Now back to your video. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for lashing out at my husband for using a picture of my son as his phone home screen wallpaper? I got married to my husband 4 months ago. I have a 5-year-old son from my previous marriage and my husband adores him. We were out at the diner last night when I asked my husband for his phone to check the payment options for our meals. Well, I unlocked the screen and saw my son's pic set as the home screen wallpaper. I asked my husband how long it's been there and he said 2 months. I got upset and pointed out that it was not wise for him to use a picture of my son as his home screen wallpaper for strangers to see as they are sitting out in public with their son with strangers around. If I might interject. He said pretty much almost no one touches this phone, so I shouldn't worry about my son's picture being seen by strangers. I told him that they didn't have to touch his phone to see the iPhone home screen. He said I should relax because it's not like he posted on social media, and besides that, he only used my son's picture as his home screen wallpaper to be able to look at him all the time because he misses him while he's at work. I demanded that he remove it, but he said no. I insisted, and an argument ensued to the point where I got up, paid my part of the bill, and then walked out of the restaurant. He decided to stay at a hotel because he was overwhelmed. And he texted me about how deeply I hurt him, and told me he removed the picture entirely from his phone if that would make me happy. Then went on to say that I overreacted, and by the looks of it, he isn't expecting an apology from me! From me! Can you believe the audacity? After what happened? Was it I the jerk, or was it he who was the jerk? Alright, folks, let me know. What do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Jerk?
I mean, this is such an odd, very peculiar hill to die on, so to speak, right? Like, people have been showing pictures of their children to other people forever, right? Like, it used to be that people would carry around little pictures in their wallets, right?
What is the worst OP things that strangers are gonna do from seeing his screen? Like, are they gonna follow him home to steal his kid or something?
They're going to follow OP home, kidnap their child, and well, okay, maybe we don't have the full story here. Maybe OP is wealthy, like beyond wealthy, right? And they need their child's identity protected at all cost because people will come and kidnap them if they find out who OP's child is. I don't think the ultra wealthy go to like little diners. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm misjudging. If any of my viewers are ultra wealthy people, first off, you're welcome to send me some money. But also, do you go to a diner? I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You owe him a huge apology. You're being extremely paranoid that somebody is going to see a picture of your child. He loves and adores your son, which is exactly what you should want from a man who's going to live in your house and be a crucial part of his life as he grows. You're the jerk big time. Next thing you know, your son's name is sacred and the husband cannot even mention his existence. OP said that they can be too much sometimes. I wonder just how too much they are if the photo nonsense triggered them this badly. Oh my goodness. OP steals the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter when the son leaves the house. Oh, I mean, this is like... People are going to see OP's child. Do they not realize this? Unless like OP's child is like locked away. Like this might be actually like a disconcerting situation. Like I can see it now. Like the picture that he has is of like her child like behind prison bars. He's just like, I missed your son so much. Locked away forever. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for being mad at my girlfriend for licking all of the Oreos? This is so stupid. We mostly get along great, but this one is driving me nuts. Yesterday, I went to get myself a couple of Oreos, and I noticed that they looked like they were taken apart and put back together. The cream was smeared and gone from a couple. My girlfriend confirmed that she licked every single one of them and put them back in the box. She kept saying, just eat your chocolate chips, but that's not the point. It's not hygienic having licked food and just laying around on the house like that. It's gross. Today she's doubling down. When the groceries came, she opened her chips in front of me, licked one all over them, and just slobbered all over it. Then put it back in the bag and shook it up. Now I can't eat any of them. I don't know which ones have spit on them. My girlfriend says I'm the jerk for not letting this go, but I just can't help it. It's gross. Edit. I really just want to clarify a few things. They're not her snacks. We picked up our own snacks, but we pay for groceries together, so they're technically our snacks. I usually try to eat the ones that I picked first, but sometimes I run out or get bored of the same thing. She's welcome to have mine if she wanted. But it sounds like you say you run out of them, right? So is she really welcome to have them if you've run out? She never finishes her snack. She eats like a bird. While I work out, I need more calories. So here is the crux of it. It makes no sense for her to hoard snacks that she will never finish before they go bad. Alright, and then I believe Amber said there's a really very important comment on this one. So let's read that top comment. Edit, you're the jerk. OP left out incredibly important information, which is why these are her Oreos and he constantly eats her snack. So she's doing this to get him to stop. Also, she never finishes them before they go bad. Oreos won't go bad for like a year. She'd finish them if your greedy butt gave her a chance to. Alright, folks, so I think we have a little bit bigger of a picture here. Basically, what it sounds like to me is that OP is trying to paint themselves in the best possible light here. And they're like, oh, look at little old me. OP, get yourself more snacks per week, right? There's a simple solution. Don't eat the snacks that your girlfriend picks out for herself. Like, if this is a point of contention, get more snacks for yourself. If you run out, if you get tired of your snacks, get more snacks. Get a wider variety of snacks.
Well, we have, like, our own snacks, and, like, I'm very slow to eat my snacks, and you'll still, like, if they're getting close to the expiration date, you'll be like, Amber, can I eat these now?
When she has snacks, she takes a long time to finish them off, and I don't go and eat them until they're getting close to expired, and I'm like, hey, you know, you've had these snacks, these chips for like 2 years now. Maybe it's about time that we polish them off eventually. Unopened boxes, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think like you just need to give your partner a chance to have their snacks, right? And just there's no need to eat your partner's snacks. If they've picked them aside, if they're going through this much effort to lick them in front of you to make sure that you know that they've like marked them, then you have probably gone into excessive territory of eating their snacks on multiple occasions. So, I mean, I think that, yeah, OP is probably a jerk in this situation, and their girlfriend is probably doing what is necessary to keep their snacks, right? Though I do think it's a little gross to like lick Oreos and then put it back.
Yeah, well, I think she's at a desperate point. It is,
Yeah.
It's gross, but...
All right, folks. That's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!